Hey everybody, it's Anna J. Wellner with the Author Library, and today I have with me Darrah Steffen, who is the author of Rise of the Dragon Queen, which is the first book in the Legends of Ethota series. Darrah, would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure. My name is Darrah Steffen. This is my author of Rise of the Dragon Queen. I am trained as a paleontologist and I work as a fossil preparator. So I clean dinosaur bones at the museum I work at.
So cool.
And then, yeah, it's a lot of fun working on a lot of tyrannosaurs recently. So that's been a lot of fun.
That must be, yeah, that so did you have you always loved had a fascination with paleontology and dinosaurs in general?
Pretty much. My parents took me to a lot of museums when I was a kid, and so I've always really enjoyed seeing the dinosaur exhibits and talking to the people who worked with them, and that kind of got me interested in that aspect of things.
And then you took it a step further and went and got your degree in it, and now that's what you do. That's so awesome. You
Yeah.
I I think a lot of people start out, I want to do this whenever I grow up, and then they don't always end. I know I didn't. I didn't end up doing what I thought I wanted to do whenever I was a kid. Um, so that's
Yeah.
awesome. Did that help to provide inspiration for the Rise of the Dragon Queen and the series itself?
I definitely think it did. It definitely helped with the world building. So I really like to think about how like my background in biology and geology helped inspire the world around the characters in the book, about how like how did these animals develop? Like how would a dragon actually evolve versus how do like people think about them normally? So you usually think about dragons as having the four legs and then two wings, but if you think about animals that have wings like bats, they lose their front legs in favor of the wings. So I was thinking about that with my dragon. So you wouldn't actually have the four legs and the two wings. You would actually just have the back legs, and then the arms would be combined in the wings. So you would think about my dragons as a little bit more of wyverns, and so things like that with my paleontology background really kind of influenced my book.
That's awesome. So it's not only fantasy, but there's a lot of science fact in there as well, which makes for a really intelligent read. I'm interested to check it out. I've seen a couple of interviews that you've done, and I've seen your book on Bookstagram or Instagram, and so it definitely looks intriguing. I'm going to have to get my own copy.
Yay.
So one of the themes that I see in the book is family, the bond between two sisters.
Mm-hmm.
Can you kind of expound on that without giving too
Sure.
much
So
away?
right, yeah. So I have two sisters of my own. I have an older sister and a younger sister. I'm kind of stuck right in the middle. And so I've always like thought about a lot about the sister bond. And so in the book, it's about these two sisters where the older sister gets kidnapped. And so the younger sister really wants to get her sister back. And so she goes after her to try to bring her home. And so it's while they're out, they're trying to find like kind of their place in the world. Also, what are their responsibilities? Because the older sister is the crown princess, so she's thinking a lot about her duty to her country and to the people of it, but also trying to figure out like what does she actually want with her life? Does she want to be the queen? Does she want to like fall in love? Like she's also betrothed to like a foreign king to try to, you know, make those alliances, but is that what she wants in her life? So you have kind of like that. And then the younger sister kind of goes through that hero's journey, or the heroine's journey, not so much the hero's journey, where she's trying to figure out how does she fit in everything, because she doesn't have that duty of being the queen. And so she wants her sister home, but like, where does she fit into everything?
Gotcha. So it has a little bit of a coming of age to it as well. And
Yeah.
and this is a young adult fantasy, or
Yes.
okay.
Yeah.
Just want to, make
Yes.
sure for people who are watching who are younger, who may want to check out the book, that it is for young adults. What other themes in the book do you kind of explore?
I think you have like the bigger themes of like good versus evil. Because there is like there's the big bad, and so like,
Of course.
yes, like, is good going to triumph? Is like the bad guy really as bad as you think it is? And also there's like discrimination, because magic is outlawed in the land, and so there's all these magic users, and the reasons that the sister was kidnapped in the first place was because this magic is outlawed in the land, and their father is the reason that the magic is outlawed. And so he's considered a tyrant, and there's a resistance that formed because of this. And so the resistance, it comes in and kidnaps the crown princess. And so you kind of think about like, okay, why are they being oppressed? Like, is it right for them to have this resistance? Like, and so you kind of think about that discrimination of the people in the country.
So there are some more subtle undertones to the story than what you might think, and some political ones as well, with the sister and the monarchy and things like that. Very, very interesting. So do you have any idea? So it is a series, but
Yes.
and I'm sure that you're working on the sequel.
Yes.
But do you have an idea how many in the series itself?
So right now I'm having it planned to be 4 books, with 3 books following like the main Dragon Queen story, and then the 4th one being a prequel where it's set as the ancestors of the 2 main characters, the 2 sisters, where it kind of sets up like, why is the magic system the way it is? Like, why did it kind of get to be to the point where everything's so oppressed? And so it kind of goes back in time to be like, okay, this is what this is.
Give you a little bit of a backstory there.
Yeah.
So we all have, as an author, we all kind of gravitate to one or maybe 2 characters. Who would you say in the series was your favorite, and the one that you enjoyed writing the most?
My favorite would be Jenica, Princess Jenica. She's the younger sister, and I just think she's a lot of fun. She's spunky, and she's mischievous. She likes to like play tricks on people, and she kind of just says what she thinks. And she has a lot of loyalty to the people that she loves, and also she's not really afraid to be herself. And she's a lot of people who have like comments I'm getting back from readers recently is that she's fearless, and I was like, oh, I never really thought of her like that, but that's cool. Like, I love that. And it's something that's like, I think everyone would like aspire to be like just comfortable being themselves, or comfortable being fearless. And it's like, that just made it so much fun to write, because she just was like, I'm going to do this because I think it's the right thing. And I just love that about her.
That's awesome. See, I knew it. Everybody has a favorite. Everybody has a favorite.
Yeah.
And this is an epic fantasy, without a doubt.
Yes.
What drew you into this genre? Why did you read it and fall in love with it, or?
Yeah. So when I grew up, I always loved like the dragons and magic and anything weird and like paranormal and everything like that. And so that's what I gravitated towards reading. And so it kind of just made sense for me to start writing it as well.
Right.
And so that's kind of where I fell. And I really, really loved reading Tamora Pierce growing up, with her like Wild Magic and her Circle of Magic books. And so I think that really kind of influenced, because I read everything she wrote. So I think that really influenced me as I started actually writing myself.
I was going to ask if you had a favorite author.
Yeah,
But
yeah, she
there
would
you
be
go.
mine when I was younger. And more recently, I've been reading a lot of Brandon Sanderson with
Okay.
his, yeah, his Mistborn series. And actually, as I just started reading the third book in the Stormlight Archives. So
Okay. All right. Well, so and tell everybody, so the book is out now, guys.
yes, yes, it came out on March 9th. And so it's available in both ebook form and in a print version.
Awesome. So this is your debut, and already I'm seeing a lot of really positive reviews. So congratulations on
Thank
that.
you.
And do you have any idea when we might see the follow-up?
Um, I'm hoping around next year, around this time. It's in edits right now.
Gotcha.
The second, so the second book's in edits, and so hopefully, if I can get those edits done this year and get everything together, it'll be coming out around the same time next year. So fingers crossed.
Oh, I know how that is. What is your favorite part of the writing process? I know it's not editing because very few people enjoy editing. I've gotten to where I tolerate it really well now, but
Yeah.
but it's not my favorite part. What is your favorite part of the whole writing process from point A all the way to marketing and seeing the results?
Um, I really like getting like those like really good moments of inspiration where you're like, oh, okay, so this part fits with this part, and it's like, okay, yeah, everything's coming together. Everything's coming together. It's like I know what these characters are doing. It's so good. Like I kind of fall more into a bit of like kind of the pantser versus the plotter. So I'm in the middle of those. Um,
E.G. Radcliffe came up with a name for that, by the way. We're plantsers.
yeah, I totally fall in that.
I like it.
And so when everything kind of gets together, where it's like I know I need to be here, but I don't know how to get there. And when you get those connecting points, it's like, ah, beautiful.
It is.
So I love that.
It is
And I
nice.
think
Go,
oh, you go.
no, no. I was gonna say it's really nice whenever the story is able to organically kind of transform and move itself along.
Yes, yes. It's a good feeling. I think that the other thing that I really love is just getting the feedback, knowing that people have connected with the story and that they love the same characters that I do. They love different parts that I had a lot of fun writing. And so I love that too.
That to me is the probably the best part is whenever you get that feedback and someone picks up on something and they're like, oh, I hate that character. And I'm like, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Like I do too.
yep. Or she is so like fun. And then
Yeah.
you're like,
Like I did
yeah,
something right.
yeah. Exactly. So positive feedback is always a plus. It's the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. St. Patty's Day was just yesterday, so I got to use that analogy.
Yeah.
Um, well, so do you have any advice for other authors out there who are just starting their journey like you are? I mean, what's been one of the biggest things that you thought you knew that you found out that you did that you didn't know? Because we all do that. We all do that. We all go into it thinking one thing, and then somewhere along the way we say,
Oh
"Oh,
yeah.
yeah."
I would definitely say just write the story that you've wanted to read. Um, that's
Great
something
advice.
I heard, like, because everyone's just like, well, what's selling right now? It's like, just write the
Yeah,
story that you want to
I
read
know.
because there's always going to be someone who wants to read it.
Right.
Because, like, if you're interested in it, someone else is going to be interested in it. So, just
Exactly.
that's something that I heard because everyone's like, well, the big guys only want to like these stories right now. I was like, well, I'm interested in this right now. So, write the stories because if you're excited about it, that's going to come across. And then also like for since I did the self-publishing route, do a lot of research about it, because like I did a lot of the formatting and stuff myself, and so I just did a lot of the research and everything to try to figure it out, and that really helped and kind of kept down on costs, because I was able to figure it out how to do it myself. So yeah, do a lot of research. It's all online, so they can help you out with the writing community. And so and then the other thing is join the writing community. They are amazing. I've met so many people and made a lot of friends. Like, even if I haven't met them in person, they're so supportive.
Oh no, I'm right there with you on the whole thing. You know, especially the Twitter writing community has been so supportive, and it's like, you know, anytime that just ask, because more than likely somebody will have an answer, and they're more than willing to share their experience or their take on it with you, you know.
Yeah. So, or they can point you in the direction of someone who would have the answer.
Very, very, very true. So yeah. Well, Rise of the Dragon Queen is out now, guys. Make sure and check it out. I'll have all of Darrah's links in the description below. And thank you so much for being on the show today. I really, really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
All right, guys, as always, if you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Go ahead and subscribe so you don't miss any new upcoming content. Stay safe, stay happy and healthy, and we'll see you again soon. Bye.